Welcome, Games437 fans, and welcome if you are new. I'm Games437, and today I will be rating NFL quarterbacks, which next video I will be doing NASCAR predictions. Even though I don't know that much about NASCAR, I am going to try to make the best educated guess that I know. I don't want to do it just based off of first best guy is going to win, because that's no fun for anybody. Let's get into it. At number 32, we got Geno Smith from the Seattle Seahawks, which you're thinking, who? Exactly. Well, he's 32. But also, he's not a great quarterback. We saw him play a little bit last year when Russell Wilson broke his thumb. He's not terrible. He just doesn't have the weapons, and he's just not a good quarterback. At number 31, we got David Mills. Same thing. Kind of played last year. Not a great quarterback at all. Sorry, my eye. So he's not a great quarterback at all. Plays for the Houston Texans. Just not a good team. I mean, he has a good... Guess I heard something today that he has a good chemistry with Brandon Cooks, but is that really going to make a difference in your quarterback play? I don't think so. I don't think it'll make much of a difference for his quarterback play. Next up, at number 30, we got Jacoby Brissett. And, oh, yeah, I got to do the rules. So, only one per team. So, best quarterback, starting quarterback on the team. So, Jimmy Garoppolo will not be in this. Plus, this is based off of, like, the Sam Darnold, Carolina's quarterback situation where they have a tie. I'm just going to give it to Baker Mayfield, since there is kind of news that he probably will be the starter, just on my guess. So that's why, if you don't hear Sam Darnold or Jimmy Garoppolo, that is why. At number 30, you got Jacoby Brissett because Deshaun Watson is suspended. That's also why I didn't rank him, because there was news that said he'll be suspended for at least a year, so probably their starting quarterback, unless I don't think they'll go get, Jimmy Garoppolo, because they just traded for Deshaun Watson. So, Jacoby Brissett, he's all right. We've seen him play a couple games, and he's not bad. He's not a good quarterback. Sorry about that buzzing. That's my phone. I'm going to turn that on mute. Sorry about that. Hold on. Nope. There we go. All right. At number 29, we got Daniel Jones, who has been starting for a couple years. Probably doesn't deserve to start, if we're going to be honest. He's just not a good quarterback at all. Very inaccurate. Plays for a bad Giants team where that doesn't help. Like, especially if you play on a bad team, it won't help. But he's just not good. 28, Zach Wilson, second year. People are thinking, maybe you underrated him. I don't think so, because Zach Wilson is the next Sam Darnold, and he's just not good. Sam Darnold's better than this guy. Zach Wilson's too inaccurate, too many interceptions, and just looks like a 12-year-old. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, yes, he's not a good quarterback. Number 27. Marcus Mariota. He started for the Titans. He used to be a pretty good quarterback. Not great, but average. And he's just old now and just not good. But the Atlanta Falcons needed a quarterback, so I don't mind this pickup. Thing is, I don't know if he'll be that good or great. So we'll just have to see what season he puts up in numbers and stuff. Maybe he'll have a good season. He could prove me wrong, but I doubt it. Number 26, Jared Goff. Lions have the weapons to be good, except a quarterback, because Jared Goff is not your guy. Believe me, he's not that guy to be carrying your team around, winning a Super Bowl, or even making a playoff run, because believe me, he had an awesome Rams team and only made one Super Bowl appearance and only scored 3 points for that team, and Todd Gurley was mostly the responsibility on their offense of why they made that game. So, he's not a great quarterback, and I don't think he ever will be, but that's okay. All right, and next we got Mitchell Trubisky, number 25 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, well, Mitchell Trubisky used to play for the Bears. Big draft bust, drafted over Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, and clearly Patrick Mahomes was the best pick out of all three of those guys, for being honest. He ended up panning out the best, so and he plays for the Steelers now. Kenny Pickett might start at the end of the year. We'll just have to see, and I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is going to be that great. At number 24, we got Carson Wentz for the Washington Commanders, which Carson Wentz, he's been good in the past, but he's not elite or can even lead a team like the Colts to the playoffs. This year, the Colts will probably make the playoffs, probably win their division, in my opinion. Other people would disagree. Colts are a pretty good team, but he doesn't play for the Colts, and he's not that good of a quarterback, nor is this team great, where Washington could get a couple wins. I don't think they'll be bottom barrel team, but I don't think they'll be a great team. Moving on to 23. Mac Jones, which I don't know about this pick. I might have put him up higher if I thought about it a little bit more, but I don't know. I do like Mac Jones, but he's just not a great quarterback. I mean, he's good, but he's young, so he hasn't proved anything yet. Like last year, their running backs were mostly their offense, and their defense was elite, so that's why they made the playoffs. It wasn't because of Mac Jones' play at all, and maybe I overrated him, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem like that great, so this is the highest I could put him on the list, if I'm going to be fair, in all fairness. Number 22, Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. He's not that accurate of a quarterback, but he's a pretty good he'll have the weapons this year to maybe make the playoffs, but I don't know. He's not accurate and good enough for me to say that he's a great player. So that's why I wouldn't pick Tua. At 21, Ryan Tannehill. Again, another quarterback that relies too much on the running backs. Got rid of his best wide receiver. Going to have a really big down year and just getting older. So I don't think he'll be in his prime, nor do I think he'll be great this season. But you never know. Maybe with that Treylon Burks, he could be really good. The rookie wide receiver they drafted, he could be good, but I don't know. I don't think that he's a great quarterback. At number 20, you got Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence, for me, is personally a really good quarterback that's on a terrible team. So this is cut him some slack. Maybe he has a great season, but just last year didn't prove. Sorry, I'm messing with this. Just didn't prove anything to me. That he's been called a once in a generational talent, but yet I don't know if he'll be that good since he's the situation he's in Jacksonville. But you never know. He could have a really good season. Jacksonville goes to the playoffs. Probably not, but that could be a potential. At number 19, we got Baker Mayfield, not Sam Darnold, because I believe Baker Mayfield will start on this team. Baker Mayfield is one of those quarterbacks where it's just a question mark. Some days you'll throw 400 yards, and the next day you throw 3 picks. Most of the time, the 3 interception game is what you throw. And so, I don't know, just not a great quarterback in general. Just a very good quarterback, but Carolina's just not that team to go far in anything, in my opinion. Number 18 for the Chicago Bears, you got Justin Fields. All right, so you lose all your good wide receivers. Offensive line sucks. What else is there? But you're a good quarterback. Probably better than some of the other guys. I don't know. He's kind of in the same category as Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I just like Justin Fields better last year based on that because I feel like Justin Fields is the better player. That's as of last year. But this year, maybe I'd put Justin Fields a little more down and probably put Baker Mayfield. I might redo that, but I don't know. I don't mind the ranking. So, it is what it is. But I don't know why I picked him. Just honestly, actually I do. Justin Fields is a little more mobile than Trevor Lawrence. And he's just seems a little more athletic. So, maybe he can have a great year without Darnell Mooney, which highly doubtable, but you don't know. You really don't. What am I at now? Number 17, okay. Matt Ryan on the new team with the Colts. Not a bad quarterback, just kind of old, but you have Jonathan Taylor, so you can hand off the ball. Same situation like Ryan Tannehill, except he's a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill is. He just hands off the ball better. I mean, not better, sorry, excuse me. He's just a lot more accurate in his throws. Just a better quarterback, and especially if you have Michael Pittman Jr., the Colts wide receivers just are better. I think he'll thrive more. At number 16, I'm going to take a wild card here on Trey Lance. Hasn't played much, but had 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not bad numbers, and I do think Trey Lance he is going to start this year over Jimmy Garoppolo, so they're going to try to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. But Trey Lance could be the next Patrick Mahomes type of quarterback just because he has that strong arm but can also run a little bit. So maybe we could see that. But I honestly have no idea what the season will bring. But Trey Lance is my, maybe overranked later. Because I'll go back probably later and re-rank these after the season. But he's one of those players that I'm like, hey, he could have a really good year. Probably kill it. Or he could have because they're saying he's doing better at training camp and being more confident. So I'm confident in that. So moving on to number 15, Kirk Cousins. You have Justin Jefferson. All you have to do is throw the ball down the field, and most likely he'll catch it. But Kirk Cousins isn't a bad quarterback. He's just one of those average quarterbacks that can't get a team in a deep playoff run. So I would watch for Kirk Cousins to be in the 50% mark, but I don't think he'll be any better than that just because he's Kirk Cousins, and that's what he does. He can't make a playoff run. Okay. Number 14, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has the weapons to be good. He's in the opposite situations as most of these quarterbacks. Well, no. Okay, so a similar quarterback to Jalen Hurts is like Justin Fields, except he's in a better situation. Where Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts are in a similar situation, but Justin Fields doesn't have good wide receivers as opposite for Jalen Hurts. So he's way higher on this list, probably still 50 percentile of quarterback, but will have a really good year because he has two really elite wide receivers in Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, with that big trade for A.J. Brown. Crazy that the Titans ever would do that. But that's their business choice, not mine. I would never have done that. That's just me. Number 13, we got Jameis Winston for the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston, I think, is a very underrated quarterback. Get that 33 and 30 is not your ideal good stat line for throwing a football. But that was back in Tampa Bay, and then we saw him go 5-2. I believe he went 5-2 when he started, and then he tore his ACL. If he can stay off of injuries, I think he could be a pretty good quarterback. I don't know if he can be much better than 13, but I think he could definitely be a top 15 quarterback in this league. Number 12. Sorry, I'm looking at my list. Where is number 12? Oh, yeah. Derek Carr is number 12, and he's just got a lot of... Devontae Adams adds a huge difference, but he's not a great quarterback. He always seems to not do... Like, he'll have the weapons to succeed, and he underachieves. Last year was the first time I've seen the Raiders achieve their goal, but they had a huge... Like, this year they're way more expected because they got Devontae Adams, but could this all change and potentially they just stay the same? I don't know, but they look like a really good team. Derek Carr is not a top 10 quarterback. Some people would say that, but I would argue no. I do not think he is a top 10 quarterback. I think he's just outside that list and pretty good, but yeah, he's pretty good. I just don't think he always underachieves. Like, he has weapons like Darren Waller, Devontae Adams. If he can hit those guys, he could be a top 10 quarterback. At the end of the day, he could if he gets a little more accurate, but he seems to underachieve a lot. A lot of times he underachieves, so that's why I have him at 12. At number 11, people are going to think I'm crazy for this, but Tom Brady is at number 11, which you're thinking, the GOAT is at number 11. What do you think, Games 437? I think Tom Brady's going to have a huge down year, just 45, but seems to still probably surprise me. But he's a good quarterback, so who knows? But with all the receivers and people retiring, he could be a very just old quarterback, so I don't know how much longer you can be in the top 10 or 5 with that age, but I don't know. Number 10, I'm going to... Okay, we're at the top 10. Number 10 is, drum roll, please. At number 10, I have Russell Wilson, which I think he will succeed this year very well with Denver. Probably a better year than he had last year, just not good enough to crack the top 5. But he's really good, has the weapons, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, I guess that's it, really. That's mostly, I don't know, I feel like he got downgraded in Denver, but Denver has a better defense. Denver has a better defense than Seattle Seahawks do, but we could see potentially, probably, I don't know, just, I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I put him really low on the list, and maybe that's a mistake, but I don't think Denver's really that good as people have projected them. They've been overrated in this offseason. They made a couple moves that are, like, good, but I don't think they're that great. Like, they're a very overrated team. Getting Russell Wilson, it's basically all you did all this offseason. Your defense is the main factor of why you guys are good, but I don't know. Just Denver doesn't seem like that team that has very many wide receiver options besides Jerry Jeudy with Tim Patrick getting hurt. I just don't know. All right, at number 9, you got Lamar Jackson, who's a very kind of the next generation Michael Vick. And don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson, good. Thing about him is he doesn't have a lot of throwing yards and just runs a lot. So he scrambles. So sometimes it doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, but he usually does. And usually they kind of do college football with him, where they do QB options, draw, stuff like that, where it's good, but it's not the best. But I don't mind his style of play either. But yeah, that's why he's super low on the list. He has Mark Andrews. They got rid of Marquise Brown to Arizona. So he got rid of his best wide receiver, but he does. They're betting high on Rashad Bateman. Maybe he'll have a great season. I don't really think he'll have that good of a season, but maybe he will. Who knows? I mean, like I said, I don't really know who will have a good season, who won't. This is just my predictions. And at the end of the video, comment down below who you got as your top quarterbacks from 1 to 32 or 32 to 1. Either way works. Just comment down below what you have as your top quarterbacks and stuff. And then after this video, I'll try to do a NASCAR video of my predictions of the playoff NASCAR. All right, at number 7 or 8, sorry, I skipped one. You saw me put my nose in my microphone. So sorry about that. At number 8, we got we have Matthew Stafford, which I get that he's been a little hurt. He's been hurt this season, off season, hurt his elbow, but he's been playing through it, so I think he'll be fine. Has weapons, team a little downgraded, but still a good team. And like I said, I think they'll repeat, not because of him, because Cooper Kupp is really good, and that defense just super good, especially adding Bobby Wagner to the mix, and then getting Allen Robinson will help this team with their loss of Robert Woods. But I feel like they should go re-sign OBJ since he's available. That's just me. If they go get OBJ, this team is probably going to run it back. All right, number 7, Kyler Murray, who got a huge extension. Congratulations to Kyler Murray on that. And so, he's a good football player. He's short, he's fast, he can throw the ball. The short part doesn't really matter, but he's just really good. But DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for the first 6 games, so I don't think he'll make the top 5 because of that. I think he's a good quarterback, and in the future could probably be a top 5 player, just not at the moment, based on this. And number 6, who's just out of the top 5, Dak Prescott. Prescott's good. Got rid of Amari Cooper. I mean, he's a great quarterback, but I don't think he's the top tier quarterbacks, the top 5 at all. Maybe barely just outside that list. He's very good, very accurate. It's just with the Cowboys, you have CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, and that's about it. I mean, just not a lot of options there to really succeed. And I don't know if the Cowboys have even won a playoff game with him. Maybe one, but that's it. I mean, you haven't proven yourself as a top 5 quarterback yet with wins, because that's what proves a top 5 quarterback. Well, next one kind of disproves my point. Justin Herbert, but he's only been in the league for 2 years. Dak Prescott's been in the league for 5 and only has 1 playoff win under his belt, I believe. Justin Herbert, this year they're going to win their division. The Chargers, I believe, will win the division at 11-6. 11-6 is what I got their record, I think, pretty much. The Chiefs will be 10-7, just outside of them, but still a good team. Justin Herbert is that top 5 elite quarterback with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I don't know who their tight end is. I'm trying to think of their otherwise receiver, but they have Austin Eckler. It's just a good team, and he's a really good quarterback. Could be like a Tom Brady level quarterback. Probably not that good, but will be a good quarterback by the end of his career. Could be a Hall of Famer. So, but he is a top 5 quarterback this year. I think so. I think he will be a top 5 performer no matter what. Number 4, I got Joe Burrow. Same thing. He's like Justin Herbert, except has a better, younger wide receiver at Jamar Chase, who is a stud and maybe might be the best wide receiver in football right now. And they went to the Super Bowl last year, but I don't think they'll do that this year. But they will be really good, and they will be a scary team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase duo. It's just a scary team, and that is a good team, but scary. At number 3, drum roll please, top 3, Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is always good. And I think with Devontae Adams gone, he still will do his thing. Just like Tom Brady, I don't like where I put him. I don't like betting against him. It's just true because you don't have you have Mike Evans at the beginning of the season. You don't have anybody great. You have Julio Jones, who could be good, but just not a lot of options. Maybe O.J. Howard, but just not a lot of options for me. Aaron Rodgers, same thing, but Aaron Rodgers just blows my mind every year how good he is and how elite he can be. And so I believe that he will have a really good year, top 3 quarterback. And number 2, I got Patrick Mahomes, who is always good. The reason why I didn't put him at number 1 is because he doesn't have the wide receiver core that he needs. He has Kelsey, and then Juju Smith-Schuster, Vasquez-Scantling, I think that's his name, and then McCole Hardman. And then you got the rookie Sky Moore you drafted, which they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. Chiefs are a good team. I don't know. Just getting rid of Tyreek Hill is a huge loss. But I think they might be able to. Patrick Mahomes could have a really good year, but I do not think he will have like his 50 touchdown year like he had in his MVP year. But he could have an MVP year, but I don't think he will. But he'll still play at an elite level and be the number 2 quarterback. And number 1, I got Josh Allen. He just has. Basically, Josh Allen has nothing. He has everything to lose and pretty much one thing to gain is a Super Bowl and an MVP this year. And I think he might win the MVP this year because he can run, he can throw, he has Stephon Diggs, he has the wide receiver core to do it, he has the defense to do it. This team has everything to do it. They have the quarterback. It just depends on how Josh Allen plays, and I think he will succeed to go to the Super Bowl. Do I think they will win? No, I think they'll fall just short to the Rams. But comment down below. All right, tell me which quarterbacks you would rank 32 to 1 or 1 to 32. Either way works. Down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.